Alright, steel's done. Next up is coal processing, which actually has some uses. I've decided while we're crafting all this wood, we could explore the right side over here. We've already explored up a little bit, and there are not many resources we want from there, so I think exploring to the right would be our best bet. Alright, don't know if I already said this, but I'm going to be crafting 1,000 wood and exploring to the right. Oh, and we just finished coal processing, so let's take a look at what that has to offer. Coal processing. Carbon, the vents, the ponds, more ways to make iron, limestone, high pressure. We can burn wood to make coal and coke. Pretty good. Found some nickel and some biters towards the south. Oh, and we just researched mining with fluid. Let's see what this gets us. Mining with fluid. Fluid mining drill, tin, aluminum. Alright, okay, so it allows us to mine with fluid for some things that we need. But does it... Oh yeah, fluid mining drill. Cool. Okay, it seems like there's a little island, or a little pocket to the bottom. This would make a really awesome port later in the game, when I have cargo ships. Gotta say, I don't like the northern biomes. Trees seem to disappear every once in a while, which I need to absorb all the pollution. Found more zinc. Oh, and I found more iron, so if I want more iron, I have to go to the right. Again, it's a large distance, and I don't think I'm getting trains anytime soon. I guess I could make a giant transport belt. That's kind of my only choice right now if I want more. We finished glass research, so let's see what that gave us. Obviously glass and ways to make glass. Also we found chromium. I found more biters. Oh, groups of biters. More iron, some antimony, which I know is ore that we need for a lot of renewable resources. It's funny that I can't really even see anything that's going on here. But here, let me try to help out. Oh my, these are extremely strong. Alright, that was quite the battle. Let's go ahead and take out the ones up here, though they look like they might be nuclear. And I'll put turrets on my bar here, so it's a little bit easier. Okay. Get rid of all the small guys for me. I can't even see them. I'm finding it hard to be able to place my turret. There we go. Alright. Nope. Glad we got that over with. But again, it's seeming like, there's more guys up here, which I don't want to deal with. I've done a good amount of exploring, but it seems like the research has stopped. And we only have a few more left to go through, so let's go deposit this wood that we've been collecting. And consider this research or explored. It seems like a very large island, but if we can conquer it, it's got a good amount of resources, and yeah, maybe there's a good bottleneck for us later on. Again, I guess I haven't shown it in a long time or really at all, but here's the map of our explored world so far. Man, again, I just love the clockwork mod, because as it turns to night here, everything grows to pitch black, and it looks like I'm really running through a forest with nothing else in sight. Oh, here we go. Approaching pitch black, and now we're at pitch black. And it's really cool. And if I go to the left, then we can see my base is nicely lit up. And we can appreciate the lights that I spent time to put down. Okay, part of the reason that our iron has slowed down is because of all this ash backup, which comes from the backup of ash here. So, I mean, I'll just pick this up, and then I'll also pick up the ash here, but this won't be a permanent solution. Yeah, this is not a permanent solution. It's going to back up again, but hopefully temporarily we can increase the throughput. Yeah, just pick up the ash along the way and throw it into the final destination. Oh, we've finished botany, so let's see what botany has given us. Botany, botanical nurseries. Okay, yeah, it's 4 more tree research. Also, our backlog for ash is full, so we have to make more at the end here, which kind of sucks because I hate just storing ash, but we'll have a use for it soon enough. Okay, so I've set up more temporary storage for ash. Yeah, again, hopefully we get to spend it soon. Yeah, and as we can see here, my research labs are starving. So let's go ahead and give it more wood so that we can continue our research. Okay, we've completed soil washing. Soil washing gives us washers to get sand out of soil. Oh, we completed moss, which presumably gives us the ability to make moss. Amazing work. Okay, we are approaching wood processing. 96, 97, 98, 98, 99. Yay, wood processing. Now we could finally fully automate Science 1 by first automating raw wood. Oh, and it uses ash, which is wonderful. So we have another use for ash. So we will be using this recipe. But then, yeah, I have to go into the lab and make the wood processing or wood making facility. Or actually, if I just make a wood cutter, these at least would be able to turn the logs I have into wood. But also, I'd like to just automate it. So, yeah, I'm going to go to the lab and design the wood maker and then come back and place it into the world. Okay, this is what we need to make 5 wood per second, which is 1/3 of a belt. Very low numbers for everything, less than 7.5, so anything we can just chuck in on half a belt while designing this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 7, 21, 21 plus 9, 30, 30 buildings. Not bad. Let's go ahead and build it. Alright, so this is what it looks like. I'm producing 5 wood per second. It only has 4 inputs, 1 water, 1 ash, 1 coke, and 1 stone. As you can see, we still need to make something to make stone, but I felt like turning raw coal into coal and coal into coke would fit much better somewhere else, and then we can just belt the coke over. So this is the final design. It's as compact, square, and small as I could make it. It doesn't have any lights. I'm not sure if I will add lights to it because it's going to be pretty hard to cram lights into this section at least, and then bring them everywhere else is kind of difficult. So maybe I'll wait until I unlock optics before I light it up, but I will decorate it and I will test it before putting it in the main world, and then also designing the coal and coke later so that I can put that in the world as well and hook it up to this. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and proceed with the test. Okay, everything's filling up. I realized that we do need to put wood in here in order to start the chain reaction. We don't have water connected up. Okay, I have connected the water up. Oh, now I've connected the water up. Now I've connected the water up. So this will produce soil eventually. Okay, we're producing soil, which will go in here, and make muddy sludge to make our moss to make our tree seedling. So yeah, this might take a while. Okay, I see my first big mistake. They are producing tree seedlings, but they have nowhere to place them because the ash is taking up more than one row. So let me fix that. Alright, looking better this way. I fixed the ash, we got seeds coming in, the moss is already being sent out. Oh, shoot. Yet again, they are appearing on the wrong side. Let me fix that. Alright, so I've gone ahead and switched the ash to the opposite side, and I'm draining the rest into this box. This way we should get wood being produced, or logs being produced, which will turn into wood. There we go. And there's wood. And I guess another big test is to see if... oh, so you can stop getting rid of that. Yeah, another big test is to see if the seeds can pick from the wood and keep up with it, even though I have no buffer. I have no sort of buffer on it. Yeah, so I don't think I'm that worried about this not being able to grab the wood. So the mechanical inserters can pull the wood from this belt, even though it's turning. And my biggest fear again was, what if something clogs up? So I just tested this. The stone was cut off for some time, and so everything, you know, kind of stopped moving because once there was no moss, no seedlings, no logs, no wood. But I realized there's a big seed backlog. So as soon as the stone did get reconnected, it's not that we had a lack of seeds because we had a huge backlog. So we kind of all just started up again. And what I can see from this running is that eventually the seeds will make it all the way back up to this machine, so we won't even need as much wood being pulled out of the system for it. So I think this design is good. Again, there's no lights right now. I do want to put in lights later, but for now, I think it would be too much of a pain to try to add lights. Yeah, definitely too much of a pain to add lights. So I will instead wait until I have optics and put electric lights in. But otherwise, I was going to consider decorating. Maybe I can do one more research. I'll get the wood floor research because that would definitely make sense for this. So I'll decorate it with wood later after I get that research. But for now, again, I have to do the destructive distillation, destructive distillation sub-factory to make the coal and the coke. And again, I would use a different background, but the black, the coal gravel really just pops in comparison to this. The red barely even registers. The brick looks nice, but it doesn't pop like this does. Actually, I could think about doing a double layer for this one. So let's give that a try. You know what? I spent way too much time decorating this one, but I think it looks really good. I think I tried to add some flair here by just making these a little, maybe just one more longer would be good. Yeah, just something different. I wanted to try it out, and I think it looks good. So this is a design I'm gonna go with. Blueprint this up and send it in. There we go. Next, again, do coal and coke and do all that before I port everything into the real world. Alright, I like how immediately after I finish doing my wood production block, they update the mod, and it turns out that they have made the wood processors fat. That is what they said in the notes. They said fat wood forestry got fat, which is great. First of all, I love the updates. I want them to keep going. I know they've heard feedback in the past where people are annoyed that they put out balance updates. But first of all, this is a beta, so it's great that we have updates and frequently. I just find it funny how it's literally the moment after I made my wood production unit that they're changing it. So let's go see how it affected it, and yeah, let's see how it affected it, and then, well, we got to rebuild it after that. At least I'm glad. I'm glad that it had at least happened before I put it into my main world. So yeah, I'm glad it happened before it went to my main world. And there we go. Yep, very much overlapping everything in my base. I'll have to figure out how to rearrange it. Luckily, this was an outer component. It was more to the side, so I think, yeah, we'll be able to just kind of move a couple of these above, and I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna take some fiddling around with to figure out how it's gonna work now. Okay, well, not done with this, but I was just reading through the update patch notes, and it seems like nothing else we worked on was affected, or yeah, nothing else I worked on was affected, so I should be good. We'll check when I go back into the real world after I design the raw coal to coke production block. But again, let's finish this up first. This is bad advice, but I am not going to test it because of the amount of time I already spent on this. I believe it looks exactly like this one, which is my old one. I just made the loop around, and this feeds down this way. So I'm pretty sure it looks exactly the same, and it should work exactly the same. I just don't want to put in the inputs and outputs just because I've spent so much time on this already. I want to get the coal, raw coal, coke set up and good to go as soon as possible, and then, you know, plop this into my real world. I've extended the design. I still like it. It's not as square as the previous design, but that's fine. Also, I don't have infinite electricity in my world. Yeah, here we go. This is the final design. Okay, I know I said I was going to create my own coke, raw coal to coke production plant, but I think it was better to just stuff it in here, because then we would have a way to get rid of the ash, or the ash is already getting taken care of. Oh, I didn't filter for it. So we'd have a way to get rid of the ash. This would produce a very tiny, minuscule amount of iron. Not that that really matters at all, but I just figured because we had the extra space, we might as well just cram it in here. And then if we need coal and coke later, I'll figure it out then. But this is the design so far, and because I did add a new component to it, I will go ahead and put the I'll do the input and output testing, even though I didn't want to. Okay, so here we have the infinity chest set up, and I have messed up the inputs already. Okay, here we go, fixed up the inputs. Let's go ahead and send them through and see if this lasts, or if there's any jams in the long run. Okay, the new additions, the raw coal into coke, into this, it seems to be working. Where are we getting attacked? Oh my god. Okay, as I was saying, this seems to be getting the coke to make the carbon dioxide. We are sending the trees up, or no, those are the saplings, are going in. These don't seem to be receiving any of the ash for some reason, because there's seedlings here. These don't accept seedlings. What do they accept? They do accept tree seedlings. So why aren't they accepting any of the tree seedlings? Oh, it's because they're one too far away. And these are not receiving any tree seedlings because their outputs are full. Okay, let me fix this minor error. That gap should be fixed. I just moved it down, including the decorations, which I realized just now that I said I moved it down, but I didn't even move it down. See, making these bigger made them taller and made them seem bigger, but there we go. Let's see if there's any issues in the long term with this. Ah, I see another major issue is that none of the logs are leaving the fastwood forestries, so I will place those down. I made the same mistake here. These are one too high, so we can move the whole top portion down one tile. Okay, so I've gone ahead and moved the decorations down again, one more tile, and moved all these buildings down one tile. And we can see there's some wood flowing. However, these have stopped producing logs because we're no longer receiving seeds because we're no longer receiving moss. And we're not getting moss anymore because don't have enough muddy sludge because we're out of soil. Because we don't have any soil coming in here. I don't know how I messed that up. Did these have any soil in them? No, they didn't. Okay. Well, obviously I need to put a soil extractor to get soil and put it in here. And I guess I will just tack that onto the end over here. It's kind of weird that it's not directly next to them, but I guess I could move everything, but that would be a bigger pain than just doing something like this. Or putting it up here. I'll just put it up here. Okay, so I've plugged the soil extractor back in and I've moved the high pressure furnace over to the side. Everything should work again. Yeah, everything should work again. Again, this is exactly why you playtest stuff, because this would have taken forever in the real world. But let's put this at maximum speed and see if we get our things going. Okay, one of the obvious roadblocks is that these have to be stored somewhere, the tar and the coal gas. I think we can get a vent. I'm not sure if I have vents yet, but if I don't, I'll have to just put them in some kind of container and then just throw them out. Otherwise, we need vents and a pie sinkhole, I think it's called. Sinkholes. Perfect. We won't really need these for long because we'll be dumping, or we'll be using the coal and the tar and the coal gas. But these are just temporary measured so that it continue running. So there we go. Now everything is continuing to get pumped into the air, or put in some underground cave. You found a huge underground cave. Why not dump your unwanted liquids there? And again, let's go ahead and let it run and see if there's any other long-term issues. Okay, again, it seems to be working. So now we're gonna perform an input shortage. So what happens if we run out of input and then we restart it? Will it have any issues? Okay, so I think my tests should be good because it seems like it seems like the seeds are still backed up. So if I plug this in, it should be able to start back up, no problem. And I guess this is the last one. We watch it start up, and then we will delete infinite electricity, and then that should be it. Should be good to start building this. Also, these mechs are so cute walking in and out of the building. Looks really good. Looks really good. Alright, I'll plug back in, and it seems to be working again. So I'll go ahead and copy paste this and begin working on it.